It follows on from the appointments remuneration group. Can I just check, has anybody got any conflicts of interest on items on the agenda? Caroline will be here for the first item, but leaving us for this, well, the second part of the second item. So not seeing any conflicts of interest. Any apologies, Richard?
We've had a few declines, but no specific. We'll put the declines in the minutes, Trevor. There's a few.
Fine. Okay. Thank you. And sorry, can I just check, because based on an earlier meeting, Rashmi, have you got hold of the papers? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I have got the papers. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. So if we can move on then to the first substantive item, which is the UHN Chair mid-year review. I say this has been to appointments and remuneration group. Simon, are you kicking off on this, and then Caroline?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. We've had sessions with the chair, both informal and formal, and gone through his performance and goals, and we are quite satisfied that everything in there, as you see it in the notes, is appropriate.
Yeah, Simon and I went to Glenfield Hospital and we met with Andrew. We also met with Tom Robinson, who is the Senior Independent Director from UHL as well. We had quite a long discussion. It's sort of an hour and a half or longer, and it's a detailed discussion. It's very open and transparent. A lot of the benefit of these situations of appraisals in general is the dialogue and the discussion, and it was a very open and honest conversation about the challenges that the trust faces. And we were very happy to support the outcome of the appraisal and then to take that to ARG on the 9th of December. There is a copy of the brief report that Simon wrote, and it's attached in the papers. It covers the points that we have to cover for NHS England, the different parts of the appraisal process. I think it's important to remember as well, this is just the mid-year appraisal. So this is not the final year appraisal. This is just the mid-year review. But yes, progress was recognised in a number of areas. And then obviously there remains challenges, particularly around things like EDI and freedom to speak up. We remain under huge challenges financially, but Andrew's performance met all the criteria that we needed to. And so we took it to ARG on the, I think it was the 9th of December, and then they've received it and they endorsed it. And so they're recommending it to this Council of Governors meeting for ratification. So really that's what we're seeking here today, and happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Caroline or Simon? No? Can I therefore ask, do the council approve the mid-year appraisal? Thank you, Jane. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Caroline.
Hey, I'll leave. Very brief.
I'll leave and get on with the day job. Get on with the day job.
Bye, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone.
Bye.
Okay.
Cheers, Caroline. Thank you.
And the second part is the looking at the rest of the non-exec directors by myself. You'll note that my final part of my mid-year appraisal is not due till 26th of January, so I've not got a conflict in terms of this paper. But in terms of the ARG, Simon.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find my notes. I'm in terrible trouble with the admin controls not showing me anything properly. I think we're very happy with the process here. I mean, we are seeing the first review really of a new group of non-executive directors following, all settling in following the re-recruitment of them a year or so ago. And I think we are happy with the progress they're all making. I don't know if anybody's got any comments on the general process or any of the individuals.
Any comments or questions? Clearly, some of you see these more closer to hand if you attend committees. Others may not see that much of them, but
Yeah.
that's part and parcel of having the appraisal process to hopefully draw out the strengths, weaknesses and challenges that the individuals see. Penny.
Yes, I sit on the Quality and Safety Committee and also on ARG, and I've been very impressed with non-execs that I've seen as part of that process. So yeah, great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I think going back to the similar sort of question, a similar view from what came out in the chair's appraisal, that there's lots of things out there that, yeah, there are still significant challenges around, but we are making progress in a number of those areas, and individuals play their different roles according to which hats they're wearing at the time. Rashmi.
I think it's yeah, it's quite good to to know that there is a lot of work going on and there is a lot of good people and good work being done. But given the specific challenge within the ADI, and there is again work is done, but it's just that because of the challenges people still experiencing, and it's just that appreciate the work is done and important, but it just I still feel uncomfortable about that, especially with the racism and also from some of the EDI work, the challenge that coming across, and it just acknowledge all the work, but I think it is still I'm quite concerned about those challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. And I don't know another a single non-exec director that is not concerned about the fact that we've not managed to progress as we would have hoped around the EDI. That's not for the want of a lot of work, and it's about how we focus our efforts to actually make an impact on this. So certainly with the People's Committee, there's been a lot of discussion. There was a board meeting, and I'm just challenging my memory here. I can't remember, it was October. I think it was October. We had a big session on EDI at the board that particular time. And it's not just about talking about it at the board, it's about actually enacting the change in the organisation to enable staff to feel safe, comfortable to raise their concerns and move the whole agenda forward. Tanwir.
Yeah, no, I think I appreciate we making good progress. But one thing, while I was working in Sheffield Hallam University, what they made it unconscious bias training mandatory, because a lot of times some of these challenges or discrimination occur not by knowingly but unconsciously, and something on those lines I think certainly will help. That unconscious bias training, and I was involved in Lincolnshire as well in city council, that helping people to understand some of cultural differences and the way we brought up in different cultures and different religions may help to understand the way we work with each other. So I think maybe that will be helpful if something on those lines, raising awareness about unconscious bias will be helpful, I think.
Thank you, Tanwir. Simon.
Yeah, I think the session you were talking about at the board is where we had 3 people along to do a presentation in the way that we have a patient story. I think that's the one you're talking about.
Yes.
And we had some very powerful messages from those 3 people. They were strong messages about EDI, and I think it took people back a bit in a way. I think I'm right in saying that. And was food for thought. So kind of it's maintaining it very much on the agenda, which it clearly is in the trust.
Yeah, thank you. Jane.
Sorry. So we've done this. We've done this many times. We've done the unconscious bias training. We've done the
Nothing About Me Without Me training. We've done so much training, and I think for me, it's great doing all this training, but how do we embed it and how do we hold people to account that don't do it? Because if we're holding people to account when they do it, then we should see, I'm not going to say a seismic change, but we should see a change start to happen in the culture. But I don't see us holding people to account when these things do happen. And I certainly don't hear about it. I hear about it the other way. So for me, it's how do we demonstrate that we are doing what we say we're going to do?
Sorry, Richard, I'll come to you first. Not so Rashmi, is that a latent hand?
Well, it was the same hand, but I think what Jane said, I was just going to make same point again. It is, yes, we did a lot of training, but I think really the impact and what impact we really, because holding accountable, but because we see some change, but it doesn't feel like, other than paper exercise, which is again training, it's all that it is there. But in a real context, a real impact, I think that's only when we feel some comfort from it, that when we see that come through. So I think how can we really do some form of to demonstrate that there is a impact? Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Sorry, Richard, I'll come to you and then we'll sort of go back to the actual report.
Thanks. I'll try and link this comment to the report. It was about you mentioned, and you and Simon mentioned, the powerful stories that we heard in October. So really, there's a report coming back to the next meeting at the beginning of February, the public meeting, to basically to say frankly what are we doing about some of the feedback that was raised. And certainly it's fair to say the chair and the non-execs have really driven that collectively to make sure this stays in the consciousness. So just wanted to make that point. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. I think following that, it may be worthwhile having a conversation about exactly where we bring the governors in to understand what has been done, going back to what Jane was saying. But probably the best point of doing that is when we've got the results of the latest staff survey. And I don't hold my breath for saying there's going to be massive improvement there. But actually that should be the point at which we use that data to say, what else are we doing? And before I go on to actually just saying, do we approve this report? I just anecdotal, because I lead on security for the non-execs. There have been one or two cases where there definitely has been action attempted to be taken against individuals, whether staff or public, about racism. They haven't necessarily turned out the way that we might have thought they would have turned out. And I think part of this is how do we not just support taking action where there is overt racism, but also how do we support staff in that process to enable us to get to resolutions that actually do damp it out. And there was one particular incident in the car park, which where a member of staff was abused by a fellow member of staff. Which did the end point of that particular process was not the end point that some of us expected. And I think with hindsight, the support that we could have given the individual who was being abused could have been stronger to actually enable that to have been a better outcome. I want to say a better outcome, but the outcome we should have had was it never happened in the first place. But and how do we make sure we learn lessons? Can we then, sorry, Rashmi, very final point before we go back to the report.
Yeah, it's just that I know our main focus within the, as an internal, as a staff and all that, but I think a public as having impact on to direct to our staff. But I think patient, again, they still have this, although they're known through this, people make complaint and through PALS and all that. But I think indirect to the patient have a similar, because of the attitude. So how sometimes people don't understand the cultural side and all that. So these patients have a similar impact. So I think, yes, our focus is mainly through staff and, how it happened. But I think patients have a similar sort of experience, but again, how we are really there's a way of measuring it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. I think that's an important point, and maybe something that the governors haven't touched on before, because as I say, I wear a security hat, and there are a number of incidents that arise, and maybe there is action we have taken against individual patients due to systematic issues, not just about violence, but physical violence, but verbal violence, often, which is also accompanied by racism. So I think we could perhaps come back at some time with something from security around some of the reflections of what we've heard there. But I think that's for another agenda item. So thank you. In terms of the report and the recommendation from the ARG, are people happy to accept the report and the mid-year appraisals of the non-exec directors? Thank you. Thank you very much. We haven't got any other items on the agenda. Sorry, Richard.
Really sorry we didn't have AOB on the agenda, but I just wanted to mention briefly, just so we can formally record it in this setting, some sad news that one of our former councillors, Terry Spencer, died just before the new year. So we extend our condolences to his family. And also we wish one of our current governors, David Harland, well, who's recovering from a medical emergency, hopes to resume his governor duties in the near future. So just wanted to flag that so we can formally record that. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Richard. Absolutely. We need to formally, and I know a number of people are aware of that, not necessarily everybody that's on this call, but we do need to make sure that we formally record that. Christmas is not, it's not a good time, even if somebody's had a long-term illness. It sort of takes memories forward. So, and thank you all for your attendance this morning. Jane.
Sorry, I just want to add Kath to that, formally recognised as well. Kath losing her mum on New Year's Day. Because that will be hard, because she's been the main carer for her mum. And so there'll be that gap to fill, as well as the gap for her mum going as well. Thank you.
Final point, Rashmi.
Yeah, in this context, do we, other than recording, do we send any sort of cards or anything, sympathy to people? I know we can't send to everybody, but just that some of the other, through the council members or some of these people, whether to show our way of some kind of sympathy, sending cards or anything to any of these people, whether that is a process or not. I don't know. I'm not aware of it, so just asking really. That's all. Thank you.
That's one for you, Richard.
I'll ask Sue to pick this up, see what we can get a card organised or something along those lines. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for your time this afternoon, I should say, not this morning. And I look forward to seeing you all soon at the next governor event. And hopefully everybody has a good rest of the day, and take care today and tomorrow. We've got a yellow weather warning, if you can, keep indoors, keep warm and keep safe.
Happy New Year, and it's good to see Jane Chambers back. Bye bye.
Hello, Jane. Hello, Jane. Bye.
Hello, Rashmi.